A few months ago, Dehancer reached out to me asking if I wanted to test out their plugin for Premiere Pro. And that's basically what I've been doing for the last few months, both personally and also for some commercial work. This video isn't sponsored by them whatsoever. Everything I say about the plugin is based on my own opinion and experience with it. So, what is Dehancer? Dehancer is a whole new toolbox that you can add to your workflow with Premiere Pro. It makes color grading a lot more fun, in my opinion. You have the opportunity to choose between different stocks that are already pre-made. So everything from CineStill, for example their 800T, to Kodak Vision, to Fuji. They have a bunch of different stocks. And like film photography, you can also push the color grading of these stocks, or you can pull them depending on what look you want. Besides that, you can also adjust everything from the way the grain looks to the halation that you get around your highlights, and also the way that the highlight blooms. So if you're like me in this instant, don't use a mist filter on your lens, you can still add it in the post-production, which in my opinion is a really nice way to up the level of your color grade. Dehancer works both on iOS and PC, and besides the plugin that I'm using for Premiere Pro, you can also get an app for your iPhone as well. The only downside there is to this app is that you have to use an iPhone X or newer for it to work. But here you can take your everyday photos and turn them into cool film-like photos instead, if you like that look. Okay, so back to the plugin. Ever since I got the plugin, I've been using it for almost all of my projects. And it's really easy. The first thing you have to do is, of course, you have to download the plugin, which you can do from Dehancer's side. Okay, so now you downloaded the plugin and you've imported it into Premiere Pro. What now? See, normally in my workflow, I add an adjustment layer that I use for the color grading, and then I add another adjustment layer on top of that for Dehancer. That all depends on what way you have your own workflow, but you can also add it to the footage itself. Once you've added Dehancer, now the fun begins, because you have totally control over everything from here. Here you have a bunch of different stocks to choose from, profiles for different print types. And as I said before, when I film I normally use an ethereal filter, but since I now have Dehancer, I can also add the bloom effect to the footage I get with lenses which doesn't have the bloom filter on. This next thing is the one that I'm a sucker for, halation. It just adds a whole other layer to the video work with the little red glow around it. As you can see, you can also change the hue, you can change how much the halation is affected and how little. So this one thing, besides the grain, helps give a whole other level of characteristics to your video. So they won't look as the old plain ultra sharp footage that we normally get from our digital cameras nowadays. And for me, that's perfect, because it's just way better to look at, in my opinion. Dehancer isn't just a one-click wonder, even though it may seem like it, but it's a tool. It's something that you can use to make your video stand out if you want to give it a bit more characteristics. You can also go along only adding the grain, the halation, the bloom effect on, and keep it simple. That's only up to you to decide. But you have the option to use a lot of different tools now combined. You can also just steal the color grade from CineStill 800T if you want that, and use that without the grain and without the halation and bloom. That's up for you to decide for what works with the video. One thing to keep in mind here is the Dehancer plugin is a bit heavy to use. I think I have a great work computer, but whenever I edit my video projects, I always disable the Dehancer plugin once I have the look that I want, because otherwise my computer is having a hard time following up with the rendering. That might depend on whatever system you use. And the same goes for the export time. Whenever I export with the Dehancer color grade on, the export time sometimes doubles. But it's well worth it in my opinion. if you like the look of this. If you want to test out Dehancer, they have a 1-month free trial on their website for you all to enjoy. If you end up liking the tool, I have a 10% discount code down below, or here somewhere, that you can use on their product. It is an affiliate link, so they are paying me a small amount, but hey, you're still getting the 10% discount. So that's everything for this time. I hope you liked the review of Dehancer. At least I hope you're gonna go out and test it out for yourself. But yeah, that's everything. I'll see you next time.